Welcome to SwitchMap's multi-zone wall switch installation guide. This installation guide will show you all the features the device contains. You may take a look at the description below to skip to the section you wish to learn. There are two models available. You may choose by determining the number of controls and if you need dimming controls or not. WW511A is a 16 buttons with dimming control. WW511B is a 24 buttons control. Before you begin your installation, wiring and mounting work should be conducted by a qualified electrician, and any related power must be switched off. Installing the wall switch is a rather simple and straightforward process. The wall switch is designed to fit to standard plastic square wall box. Use a deeper box for easier installation. When removing building materials around the wall box, it should match to the size of the box as close as possible. Take the main units and connect the wirings to the back accordingly. You must connect live and neutral wires to provide power to the wall switch. The wall switch can also connect one or two circuits you wish to control by the wall switch or other SwitchMap's device in your premise. If it is connected to the load 1 terminal, it can be assigned to zones A button 1, 3, or 5 if applies. If it is connected to the load 2 terminal, it can be assigned to zones A's button 2, or 4, or 6 if applies. For WW511A, it also supports 0 to 10 dimmings. You may connect the positive and negative wires accordingly. A flathead 1.6mm screwdriver is needed for this process. Use the load selection switch to select which button you want the load to connect to in zone A. For W511A, you may select to turn on or off the 0 to 10 dimming capability. Beware, each circuit must be within the maximum loading. Check before wiring. Next, you can mount the device to the wall box with the mounting screws. Do not over-tighten the screws. Snap the cover from top to bottom. Ensure all sides are tightly secured to the main units. You can now turn on the power. Okay, now it's a good time to check your settings. If you cannot power your wall switch or cannot control your connected load from the selected button, you should return to the start and recheck your steps. Once it is wired and mounted correctly, we can now begin setting up your wall switch. When setting, the lights on the wall switch may be hard to see if your environment is too bright. This is because the lights on the device cannot be too bright in the dark. Before you do your networking and pairing, you must disable load 1 or 2 if they're not connected. The wall switch do not know if they're connected or not, so you will need to do this manually. By doing this, you will release the selected button for pairing. If both loads is connected, you may skip this step. If you need to disable load 1 or 2, double press the set button at the bottom of the wall switch. Hold plus or 5 until button 1 and 2 lights on or flashes. If the load is enabled, the lights will turn on. If the load is disabled, the lights will be flashing. You may press 1 or 2 alternatively to enable or disable the loading. When you are decided, wait about 8 seconds to confirm. Now, you are ready to join this device to your SwitchMap network. If you have not yet created a network at the premise, you will need a USB coordinator. Go here to see how you can use this device to create a network and come back after following the instructions. To join the wall switch to an existing network is very easy. For the USB coordinator or a joint device, you may press the network button once. You will see a light begins to flash indicating your network is now released and ready to accept new devices. Now, from your new wall switch, you will need to hold the network button at the bottom of the wall switch until a light at the top begins to flash. This indicates the device is attempting to join to the open network. If the top left and right lights flashes simultaneously, it indicates join unsuccessful. Joining network requires heavy wireless communication. Sometimes it gets interrupted during the process. If this happens, you should try again. Once joined, your wall switch's connected load can now be paired and controlled by any control devices in the same network. Other connected loads may also be paired to the wall switch. The wall switch will automatically detect the type of control, for example, non or dimmable lights, color lightings, or shadings. This video will only demonstrate wall switch to wall switch pairing. For other devices, please refer to the instruction manual. If you want your wall switch to control another wall switch's load 1 or 2, you will need to follow these steps. From your wall switch, double press the set button at the bottom of the wall switch. Then hold the set buttons until the zones begins to flash. Select which zone you wish to add to. Press to select a number button you wish to assign the load to. The top lights will begin to flash awaiting pairing. When successful, it will light off for 3 seconds. Now, From the wall switch with the connected load, hold button Home N1 for load 1, or hold button Home N2 for load 2. Now your pairing should be complete. Remember, each button can only control one loading. If it is already paired, it will be replaced. If it is assigned to load 1 or 2 in zone A, then pairing will not be possible until you disable it. After pairing, you may set up scene control. Scene is a preset saved action or mood. The multi-zone wall switch has two types of scene control. We call it master scene and zone scene. Master scene triggers all zones devices. Zone scenes only triggers a selected zone without interrupting other zones. To set master scene, you will need to go through each zones and each button to set to the status you wish to set. Once you're ready, double press the set button at the bottom of the wall switch. Hold home and set until the zone and number buttons begins to flash and home button lights on. Press to select the number buttons you wish to save the scene to. If your settings include shade controller, you will need to hold the number button instead. This will include shade control to the scene. To set a zone's scene, you will need to select a zone you wish to set, go through each button and set to the scene you wish to set. Once you're ready, double press the set button at the bottom of the wall switch. Hold home and set until the zone and number buttons begins to flash and home button lights on. Select the zone you previously set. Press to select the number buttons you wish to save the scene to. If your settings include shade controller, you will need to hold the number buttons instead. This will include shade control to the scene. After joining network and pairing in scenes, now you have completed the basic setup. There are many features built into the wall switch. We strongly recommend you to take a look at them. We will also be going through it here now. This is an important feature. It only applies to switch control mode. With this feature, you will be able to press a number button from standby without selecting a zone. Only one zone can be assigned as master zone. To set this, double press the set button at the bottom of the wall switch. Then hold desired zone button. If you have a remote or wall switch of the same type, you may duplicate its pairing in scenes to one another. You may copy a specific zone or all zones. This will save you time and effort from repeating previous steps. To do this, you will need to start from the center wall switch. Double press the set button at the bottom of the wall switch. Then hold button 1 to select the feature. 1 and 2 and zones will be flashing. Press zone to only send a specific zone. If you wish to send all settings, you may skip this step. Press 1 to transmit. From a receiver wall switch or remote, double press the set button. Hold button 1 to select the feature. Button 1, 2, and zones will be flashing. Press zone to receive to a specific zone. If you wish to receive all settings, you may skip this step. Press 2 to receive. Remember, both wall switch and remotes needs to be in the same network. Once it is complete, the top lights will light on for 3 seconds, indicating successful. If this does not happen, and your wall switch or remote's timed out, you may try again. The default control mode is an important feature that you should use for your wall switch or remote. The device has the ability to switch from a standard switch mode to a scene mode by pressing the home button. We understand that not everyone or situation requires to use both control modes. Therefore, with this feature, you will be able to set your default control mode to switch or scene from standby. Meaning, when you first press the number button, it will trigger a switch, a device, or a scene. You will also be able to lock or unlock this control mode, preventing it from being switched by the home button to the other mode. You should set this setting last. Make sure all your pairing, scenes, and settings are completed before proceeding. To set this setting, you will need to double press the set button, then hold button 2 until the home button lights up or flashes. Now, you may select your default control mode by pressing the home button. If the light is flashing, it is in switch mode. If the light is on, it is in scene mode. You may also at the same time to decide if you want to lock or unlock this mode by pressing the number 2. If the light is flashing, it is unlocked. If the light is on, it is locked. Once you made your decision, wait 8 seconds to confirm. With the use of the home and zone buttons, you may switch all paired or entire networks device to turn on or off. Thermostat and shade controllers are not included in this control. By default, paired all on, all off is enabled, meaning anything that is paired will be able to be turned on or off with a home button or zone button. To edit these settings, you will need to do this. Double press the set button, then hold button 3 until button 1 and 2 lights on or flashes. Now, you may select how you want your settings to be. To select network all on, all off, you will need to select button 1. If the light is on, that means it is enabled. If the light is flashing, that means it is disabled. You may also press button 2 for paired all on, all off, and zone all on, all off. If the light is on, that means it is enabled. If the light is flashing, that means it is disabled. Once you made your decision, wait about 8 seconds to confirm. The sleep light is a fun feature. When the wall switch goes to standby, it can turn on its lights so that you can find it in the dark. To set the settings, you will need to double press the set button at the bottom of the wall switch, then hold button 4 until button 1, 2, and 3 lights flashes. Select the appearance you desire by pressing 1 for the top row, 2 for the center control, and 3 for the home and zone buttons. The home button will only light up when you are in default scene control mode. Then wait 8 seconds to confirm. The wall switch has the ability to interact with other devices. Any switch or scenes can be connected to other devices for triggering. For example, a daylight or motion sensor can trigger a wall switch's switch or scenes. See related device for pairing instructions. The connected load 1 or 2 can automatically switch off after a set amount of time it is turned on. Please note, this can be set or override by the gateway. If you want to set on the wall switch, you will need to do the following. Double press the set button at the bottom of the wall switch. Once you see the animation, double press the set button again. Select button 1 for load 1 or button 2 for load 2. Now, you can set your desired time for the selected load. Press 1 to turn off this ability. Press 2 for 15 minutes, press 3 for 30 minutes, press 4 for 60 minutes, press 5 or plus for 90 minutes, press 6 or minus for 120 minutes. If you pair with any shade controller, you will be able to adjust the amount of stop time you need for your shades. To do this, double press the set button. Then hold the set button until the number button flashes. Select the zone the shade is located in. Double press the set button again to enter the Edit Shade Stop Time mode. Press the number button to select the shades you want to adjust. Select the desired time. Press the number button 1 for 2 seconds, 2 for 10 seconds, 3 for 15 seconds, 4 for 20 seconds, 5 or plus for 25 seconds, 6 or minus for 30 seconds, or hold number button 1 for 40 seconds, 2 for 50 seconds, 3 for 60 seconds, 4 for 70 seconds, 5 or plus for 80 seconds, 6 or minus for 90 seconds. The factory default is 10 seconds. If by any rare chance you feel your device is not operating normally, you may try to press the reset button. This will allow the device to restart, rejoin network, and resume operation. If you wish to reset to clear all data and restore to factory settings, you will need to hold the network button. Then press the reset button once while holding the network button. All lights on the device will flash indicating the device is reset. This is the end of our instruction guide. Remember, you may edit or control your settings anytime you wish. Just follow our steps. Thank you for watching.